Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nasra Hassan and this is Real Life Perspective. In today's episode, I have a very interesting guest whom you are going to get to know in a short while. But as you are guessing whom my today's guest is, kindly do click the subscribe button, then hit the bell so that you get notified each time we upload educative content. Do not go anywhere because we'll be right back. And my today's guest is a Ugandan content creator and the most interesting female. You are also going to experience her. And Esther, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Nasra, for having me. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing to her channel. And I'm so happy to be here so I can share my story, you know. Yes, and guys, if you wanted to follow me on all social media platforms, ESTHER Natukunda, and here on my YouTube channel is ESTHER Natukunda. Guys, subscribe and keep on supporting us.
Yeah, actually, subscribe. She has a YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Esther. I got to know you from TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was so interesting. I saw you sharing your story.
Yeah.
Which not many people do, because I hear so many people claim that it is not good to share your personal story on TikTok, but for you, you are free to share your story. What is your intention to do that, to share your personal story on TikTok?
Okay, it's not really nothing much. It's just like sometimes I just wake up, or maybe, you know, when you're a content creator, you can just wake up and see something, like a content creator did something, and then you're like, oh, you look down in the comment section and then like you get triggered. So I've been doing a series on my TikTok of just sharing my life so people can get to know me, and so you can learn from the mistakes that I've done so you don't do them. Like I always claim, I'll be your big sister if you don't have one, because I don't have one.
Okay.
You know, so when I wake up and just say something random, like today I want to talk about African parents that give birth to kids and you're poor and you don't take care of them. So like you said, people are like, that is very opinionated for Ugandan. It's not likely of us to do such a thing.
Yeah.
But I think as well, if I was not exposed like to the outside world or moving to other countries and seeing how free people talk on the internet, maybe I would have not done that.
Yeah.
But because I'm expressive and I have this I don't care mind, so I come and share. And you know, sometimes you just want to rant and get it out of your chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your story is really so deep that it is almost similar to mine. So when I saw you sharing your story like that, and I was like, that is so brave. It is so brave and really courageous. So you do that with the intention just to inspire people, or
whatever,
or you just feel like you want to share. It's like you need to share with someone, and you consider the social media as a way to express yourself.
I do consider social media to be a place where I express myself. And number two, I do share because you don't know what person you're reaching out to. Like, we couldn't have been here if I was not sharing my life on TikTok. Like, I know so many people out there like us, because like we share a similar story, and you're there and you're like, I'm alone in this world. Ooh. When you get to see Esther and Nasra talking about their lifestyles and how they grew up, and your identity crisis, and people go like, I'm not alone in this. Okay.
Yeah, actually, when I saw your story, I was like, oh, I'm not the one suffering with identity crisis. Yeah. So were you born in Uganda?
Yes, I was born in Uganda. A lot of people don't think I was born in Uganda, but I was born here. I was born here in 1995 in Zambia Hospital to a mom who is a Mugandan and a dad who is a Mnyankore. So yes, so I'm a Mnyankore girl, a Ugandan.
And you mentioned that you were adopted. So at what point did you get adopted?
So I got adopted, and you know, I use the word adopted because it's not the fancy adoption that I see on TV.
Yeah, I know. Because African adoption is different, of course. Because I mean, the European or the mod, can you call it modern?
The modern
adoption?
one. Yes.
Is there there's legal implications,
Yeah.
the documents and stuff, and it is good.
Are
It
you
is-
financially stable to take in this child?
Yeah, those things.
In
But
Africa.
of course, African adoption, we understand adoption. Yeah. So, at what point were you adopted? In
My
African context.
in the context of African adoption, I was adopted from the streets by the age of 9, whilst I was living with my mother around Nabulagala Munaku. I was living there with my mom, and according to me, in my perspective, it was not a good life. It's not like a good treatment that I was having.
Yeah.
It was like toxic, very abusive, running away from home back and forth, and it's the abuse, the beating, overworking. So I decided to run away. And as a child, you run and you think you ran far, but it's really not far. So I ran from Monaco, past Kasubi, went down to Makere, and whilst I was walking on the streets, there was a lady randomly who phoned me. I was asking for something to eat, and she was like, where's your mother? I said, I don't have. And then thanks to her, she was like, let me take her to the chairman. So Daddy in Sobia, my adoptive father is called Nsobia, Seka in Sobia Emmanuel, and he owns a school called Makere West Valley, there in Makere Chikoni. So yeah, this lady texts me. I think he's like Komkuruwe Chalo, So she takes me there, and it's weird. This man was not like, oh, let's go look for your mother. What? He was just like, what's your name? Natukunda Esther. Do you know your mom? No. I said no. I was lying. I didn't want to go back.
Yeah.
Where does your mom work? I don't know. Hey, if you walk around like I look like my mother, so I just lied because I didn't want to be taken back.
Yeah.
All she did, she gave me food. He gave me food. All he did. And then he took me to Wandegia police station. And then he was like, I picked this child, and she doesn't want to go back home, so I want to keep her. I don't know what the grown-up people discussed or what they did. I don't know if there's any legal stuff that happened. As long as I knew I was not going back home, I was cool. And he owned a school, so he was like, what class were you in? I said the primary 4. I was too short. First he put me in primary 2, and I did the exams of primary 2. The second week I did the exams of primary 3, and then the third week I did the exams of primary 4, and then I was on that level. So he was like, okay, and that's how life started. That's the adoption African way.
I know. So did your mother look for you?
I don't know, really. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I stayed with that family that adopted me for 4 years, so primary 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I ran away again. So I don't know really if my mom looked for me or if she didn't. I don't know.
So you ran away from that family?
Yes.
Again. What happened?
I started feeling like there were some traits of my mother, some of the traits that made me to run away from my mother.
You started experiencing the same.
I started getting the same vibe. So I started feeling like maybe mommy thinks I'm a child that daddy had outside, because he had other kids outside. So I started getting those vibes, like nitpicking on you, like something is wrong, it's you. Hey, yeah, I didn't want to go down that road anymore. So the best I know how to do is run away and hit the streets again.
So what happened?
What happened?
Yeah.
I hit the streets.
For how long?
That same day. So remember when I told you when my adoptive dad asked me these questions of if I knew anyone relative, I said I don't know. But like there's a friend of my mother. She was living in Lusaze, where I lived once, I think for like 3 months, long time ago.
Yeah.
So when I ran away from my adoptive family, that's where I went. And when I went there, she really never cared about me, and she knows my mother, but like she was just like, oh, after you've come back. Me, I don't have where to put you. So, and then there were some drunkards there, and then there was like, is there anyone who needs a housemaid?
Oh.
Yeah. And then one guy said me, and then I went with that guy.
Did you start working as a maid?
Yes.
Okay. For how long?
Even in that house, I stayed for 2 weeks. The guy wanted to rape me.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and he was like staying in a one room. He has a woman and 2 boys, 2 kids. They're very young. I was living on the floor literally.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they needed a maid for, but anyway, that's how God gave me the opportunity not to sleep outside, I think, again.
Yeah.
But I realized like 1 week, 2 weeks, he wanted to really, really, really assault me.
Yeah.
So I beat him and I ran. It was at night and I ran. When I ran, I went to a certain church not far away, Bukuluji Masanafu. And then there's a lady there. She was also not living in a good life, but like, she was like, I'll take you as my maid. I have a chimanda chamanda, like where you sell charcoal.
Yeah.
So I'll take you as my maid. So it was maid stuff until like I grew up. Yeah.
Yeah. For how many years did you stay in your adoptive family?
I stayed with them 2004, 5, 6, 7 until 4 years.
Oh.
Mm.
So did they also come to look for you again?
I wouldn't say really. Because I don't know if they looked for me or they didn't.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I really cannot
So
tell.
you are just moving on when you leave?
I was just moving on with my life.
Yeah.
It's just that not so long. I think not even more than a year. My big brother, the guy who was the first son, who is now your famous gospel artist John Mary.
Okay.
So he went to a church. He used to, from a very young age, he was like very good with music, piano playing and da. So he used to go like to churches to minister. And he ended up finding me there where I was a housemaid and I was going to church.
Yeah.
So, it was like, oh, Esther, my sister. And I never had the problem with the kids really. So I think he told the family, and but not as such that, they were looking for me. No, I don't think so.
Okay. So you've been to several countries.
Yes.
Tell us, how did you get to all those countries without knowing anyone there?
It's crazy because when people on TikTok, when I share those stories, they're like,
yeah, it's so interesting.
are you sick in the head? How do you pack your life? And you're like, we go.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
For people like us,
Yeah.
when you feel like this family, I don't belong, you really feel like no one really cares about you.
True.
So
You just feel like even if I move,
No one
nothing is
cares.
going to change.
Yeah.
So whether I am there or not, so nothing is going to change. I will better
Exactly. Who's gonna look for me
just go.
anyway?
No, yeah, I know.
So as I went from being a housemaid, then worked in Chisenyi, I worked in Majestic Plaza I started working like 12 years old, but like I used to dress like a grown up.
Yeah.
So people give me jobs so they don't take me as I'm a baby.
Yeah.
So but anyway, at the age of 16, I think I get fascinated by languages, or I don't know really if me, myself and I was just tired of my life, but it's just that moment where I feel like really no one cares.
Yeah.
Like you're in a situation where like, even if I died today, who would care?
Yeah, no one cares.
No one cares. No one knows me.
Yeah.
And even people, they don't want to be around you for a very long time. God forbid anything happens to you now, they don't know what to do with you.
Yeah.
So, my money that I was working, I was saving up a little bit, so got my little bag, sat on a bus. I'm going to Kenya. I don't know the language, but we're going to Kenya. And by that time when I went to Kenya, there were some craft shoes that were becoming popular in Uganda. So I was like, if I can find where they do the shoes, I will do those shoes. And I knew some knowledge of doing hair. I had some knowledge of doing hair. So I just went, reached Nairobi at the bus station. I am standing there. Okay, where do we go?
You don't know where is north, south, east, and west.
And you know what? Hey, the Holy Spirit will guide you. People like us.
I know.
It's God. It's God or nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, let's take this direction.
Yeah.
And I started walking down. Guess what? I walked down. I find Karioko Market where the shoes are being made.
Exactly what you are looking for.
I'm asking, hi, how are you? I'm Ugandan, but now I don't want to show them I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going. I want to act like a real tourist now.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you? Like, how much are the shoes? In my bag, I was sure if I can get where I can sleep for 4 days on a maximum of 300 Kenyan shillings, I will survive. That's my mindset.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you know the Kenyan currency?
Yes, I knew shillings. Not like I've ever used it, but I knew.
You knew how
I knew they used shillings, and according to my knowledge, I knew Kenya had a stronger currency than Uganda. So I was like, in Ugandan money, If I convert to Kenyan shillings, really, if I can find where to sleep with this little amount of money, because 300 Kenyan shillings is like 90,000.
Yeah.
So 90,000 in Uganda, you can get where to sleep.
Yeah.
Even if it's like very cheap.
Yeah.
So that's what I was counting on. Enough money to last me for 4 nights in Nairobi, and yeah, God take over the wheel.
Okay.
Yeah, and Nairobi us around. And
So
like,
did you get where to sleep?
yes, me, the way I'm friendly.
Yeah, you got where to sleep for how many days?
I actually slept there for only 2 days because in the market I was like, I want to buy shoes, but I want to learn how they make them. I tell you, in my 2 hours in that market, I was already friends with everyone on that row.
Okay.
I was like, can you teach me a little bit how to do it? Let me see. Maybe if I like it, I will stay here. Woo! Hey. And they're like, okay, they're very friendly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kenyan people. No one has ever treated me in my lowest very nicely than Kenyan people. People were so good to me in Karioko Market, Wakamba. Wakamba people, I love you so much. Thank you so much. You really treated me like your own.
It is good.
They gave me a table. They shared their work with me. And I did not work for free. Yeah. They paid me to even do the
That's 2 hours?
Yes.
That is...
And I don't know, it's just God.
God.
And I was very quick with my hands. I learned quickly. By the time the day ended, I had money that was equivalent to help me sleep in Nairobi for the next 4 days if my money was finished. So I asked them,
This is interesting.
I know, right? Where can I
like
find
a
a
movie.
hotel? They're like, oh, there's a cheap hotel around there. I went to sleep there in a hotel 1, 2 days. The third day, I come back to the market and I'm like, do you know where I can rent somewhere? The lady called Jackie in Karioko Market, she's like, actually, I just got my room, we can share. I paid the rent immediately because now every day they were giving me work, I'm working. That's how life went on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for how many years?
Till 4 years later.
Oh my days.
Yes.
This is so interesting. It actually sounds like a movie.
I know.
And you stayed in Kenya, so after 4 years?
After 4 years, I decided that it was time for me to move on because I have a passion in me. I feel like I'm an entertainer. I'm an entertainer. I feel like the stage is my playground. I want to be an actress. And I'm like, oh, South Africa, here we come.
Just like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Who is going to call and be like, are you okay? Are you dead? Are you sick? No one.
No one.
So it's my life. I
It
risk.
is you and God.
See?
So you go to South Africa?
Yeah, the money that I had saved up, I go to South Africa. Get on a bus. Oh, by the way, people are like, 4 years, how did you have a passport? In the beginning, when I went to Nairobi, I used an ID. We had like paper IDs back in the days. So East African community, you can move in and out, no one cares. But when I reached 18 in Nairobi, I had some money, so I came back home and got a passport. Quickest passport I paid, I bribed, I did everything. I got my passport in 4 days. Went back to Nairobi. And then after 2 years, when I raised 20, I'm like, South Africa, let's go. I don't know nothing about visas. All I know, in the East African community, you can enter for free.
Yeah, but that is another part of Africa.
Tanzania, yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
East African community was still here.
Yeah.
Hey, reaching Zimbabwe. I'm reaching Zambia. Long story short, you need money, you need a visa.
Yeah.
You have to pay. Hey, now the budget that I had is not enough. And I had to do some things that I'm not very proud of.
Yeah.
Because the bus conductor of the bus that I took, he was like, if you can sleep with me tonight, I will give you $50. Or else, imagine, you are 2 countries back, you're in the middle because Zambia is in the middle. Zambia, you go back, Tanzania, you go back in Kenya. Yeah. Or Zambia, you do whatever you can, then Zimbabwe, South Africa. Yeah. The choice is yours. Yeah. I stayed in the bus. They're like, no, we need to close the bus.
Okay.
Yeah. I stand there as if I don't understand what he said. Yeah. I stand there. 2 seconds later, guys are ganging around like they're looking for someone to rob because they know this is a border. Borders are not safe.
Yeah.
I went, slept with the guy, and he gave me $50. Okay. That's the money that I used to pay to enter Zambia. Okay. And then we moved. We reach, we're entering Zimbabwe. But that's also another border because now I don't have money. The money is gone. You have to eat, you have to drink water. Yo, you look at people eating and you're like,
You don't want even to.
and then I reached there. Actually, I was very, very stranded at the border of Zambia and Zimbabwe to a point where I was like, no, I'm not selling my body again. So
Yeah.
if I need to be deported from here, it's fine. But then there is a Ugandan guy who was spotting me from when I was in Tanzania.
Yeah.
And randomly, he comes to me. He's like, hi, ESTHER NATUKUNDA. I'm like, how do you know my name? I looked in your passport. You slept with a guy, da 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 da. I've watched you from Tanzania, da da da, and I looked you alone. A girl your age to come alone, that's brave. I'm going to South Africa. I do this. I can help you. Looks like you're going to South Africa. This is how I also came without knowing anyone. And I can help you because we help girls like you or boys like you to start up in South Africa because
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thank God. Woo. Anyway, he helped me. I did not sell myself to him. He helped me. He paid. But in exchange, I gave him my passport and my phone. So I had to, when I reached in South Africa, long story short, I had to work for him until he could say, I'm done with you.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And that's how you survived. For
That-
how many years?
I lived in South Africa for 7 years, but with that guy, I lived with him for 1 year and a half, almost 2 years. And the situation was just hectic because I did everything that I thought was impossible.
Yeah.
You don't have a passport, you don't have a visa, you don't have your phone.
Yeah.
So it's just like working the sangoma, the fake witchcrafting jobs, selling abortion pills. They use you when they want to because it's not one guy,
Yeah.
it's 3 of them. Yeah, will you sleep outside in South Africa? It's dangerous, it's hectic. And also because I went in xenophobia times, I was intimidated, and it's my first longest journey. It's not like as simple as Uganda and Kenya or
Yeah.
Tanzania. But I survived and I ran away from them as well, and I started my life.
Okay. Did you achieve your goal of entertainment?
I did not achieve it. However, South Africa, I studied a little bit. I learned about the industry. I got brave and started beating myself down that, oh, I'm a foreigner, da, 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 and thank God I'm quick with languages. I learned the languages like, fast. And I went to auditions and I became an extra, like the Madiba movie with Terry Peto and Idris Elba was an extra there. I did Skim Sam, I did Scandal, Rhythm City. These are some shows in South Africa where I went to be an extra. And that is how I learned really. I didn't do much, but I got the knowledge of the industry and the courage to even see I'm actually
So
good
that
at
you can actually
Yes.
achieve your dreams.
And finally in Uganda, it's like happening now.
Yeah. Oh, so now you come back to Uganda
Yeah, but
after 7. You also went to Dubai.
yeah.
Was that after South Africa?
Yes.
Yeah, 7 years from South Africa then to
Uh-huh.
Dubai.
And then, so South Africa, COVID-19 happened. I was working for Samsung by that time, and then there's some looting that happened in South Africa during the commotion of Zuma going to jail. The Zulus don't want Zuma to go to jail. It was a national shutdown. The airport is like armed. People are toy-toying, striking everywhere.
Yeah.
And we are in lockdown, so it was just, I don't have a job. We were looted in Samsung. Thank God my South African friend Liseho Molatudi was helping me by that time.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, let me go to Dubai. And also, I had like reunited with my little sister.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, you had a young sister.
Yeah, I had a young sister. So before I left Uganda for Kenya, I went and gave her some contact details. If you want to find me, this is where you find me on Facebook. This is the tiny phone. I left her some money like that, but my mom didn't know. And like I gave her some money and started taking her to school like that.
Yeah.
So we kept in contact like that. Actually, when she finished senior 4, I was already in South Africa and I was not doing the Ugandan nonsense. So I brought her to South Africa actually, and she lived there for 2 years with me. And then we got some money. She went to Dubai. So when it was that times of the shambles in South Africa, she paid for me a visa and I went to Dubai as well.
Okay.
Dubai happened. It was rough, 1 year and a half, and I was like, let's come back home, my darling.
That was even harder than other countries. Could it be because of maybe the race?
No, it was not about the race. It's more of the Ugandan mentality. You're going there knowing all you have to do is cleaning. And I wanted to change my life. I'm like, no, I can do sales. And I tried in Dubai, worked in Nike as a part-timer, but with a visit visa. But there's nothing really much you can do with a visit visa. And it was so unfortunate to me that I entered Ramadan, the fasting season for Muslims.
Yeah.
When you enter that season, no jobs for you. If you don't have a job by that time, no jobs for you until like
The month has
Hey.
ended.
because it's the Muslims, it's a Muslim country, they keep
Yeah.
the country running. So
Yeah.
really, I entered overstay. It was getting suicidal at that point. I
Oh.
was climbing the building and I'm looking at something like, really, what's the point of life?
It was like, what made it that hard? Because you had survived.
I know, right?
Yeah. So what was that different?
In South
from-
Africa, it was okay for me to live illegally.
Yeah.
You know, I can speak the languages. It's illegal, but like I can survive.
Yeah.
In Dubai,
It was-
you don't have a visa. It's a first world country, for God's sake. You don't have a visa, the police can catch you anyway.
Anyway.
You don't get a job when you are in overstay. So you can't find a job. Police can catch you anytime. I don't want to be banned from traveling ever again.
Yeah.
You don't even have money to bring you back home. Even you coming back home to who?
Well, yeah.
Where?
It felt like that was the end.
I have no one to cry to.
Yeah.
Went on top of the building. I was living in Tikom, guys. Top of the building, you're like, other kids do it. Why not me? Really good. Like, what's the use of life? You come back and no, my life is too precious. Esther, you did not survive all this just to die like this. No.
Yeah.
It's back and forth, and I thank God for my friend Dagiri. I also met her there in Dubai, and she helped me. She bought me an air ticket to come back to Uganda, and I came back and I reached the airport. I'm like, okay, I'm here. You have no money. Where do we go now? Entebbe.
Yeah, and you need to go to Kampala.
Yeah, but you don't have money. Where do we go from here? You don't have a family, no one to call.
Yeah.
So thank God, before I left Dubai at the airport, there's some Ugandan guys that were bringing in their devices, abasus, something like that.
Yeah.
So I helped some random guy. I'm like, oh, you have a lot of luggage. I don't have luggage. Give me, let me carry for you for free.
Okay.
So I counted some of his luggage on me because I didn't have luggage. So, and then when we reached Uganda, Nampaya Kasimo, like I think, so 50,000 Ugandan shillings. And he offered to even give me transport to town.
Okay.
Yeah, so I sat in the boot. They dropped me in town.
Yeah.
And I caught a border to the school where I was adopted.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
remember at home. That is the only home you
that's
know.
the only home I know. And I felt like they could take me back.
Yeah.
Because my little brother, my big brother John Mary is now a gospel artist, and we used to communicate like on Facebook, and he was showing me a lot of love. Yeah. You know, he was like, no, mommy and daddy really love you. So, you know, what happened in the past happened in the past. Don't keep anger.
Yeah.
Let's move on. And he's a born again Christian. So I feel like this is where I could, you know.
Yeah.
I went, thank God he's a very busy man, but I phoned him at the studio at school.
Yeah.
And hey, God, I was like, I don't have where to sleep. God was so gracious. He took me to his house, and his wife, they
welcomed you
They
back.
welcomed me, and it was my first time meeting his wife because we parted when we were very young.
Yeah.
And yeah, I lived with them for like nearly 6 months, and I got a job. They helped me get a job, and this is how I'm living in Kampala now.
Oh. Oh my goodness. It sounds like a movie.
It's crazy.
So, do you have siblings?
Yes, I do have a little sister, but she's living in Dubai right now.
For her, she remained in Dubai.
Yeah, she remained in Dubai. Life is good. She got a very good job. So yeah, my little sister. And then I have a little brother. We don't share the same dad, like biological.
Yeah.
Well, we don't share the same dad, but like I have a little brother.
Yeah.
We share the same mom. He's in Uganda somewhere. I don't know where, but I know I have, yeah. And then apart from that, it's my adoptive family.
Yeah.
My big brother, Jean-Marie, John Mary, Timothy, Angel, Tina, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how is the bond?
The bond with my adopted family?
With your other, your biologicals.
My biologicals, it's more like I don't fit in.
Yeah, you don't feel there's no
Yeah,
bond.
there's no bond.
Okay.
We tried, me and my little sister in Dubai, which is not bad, but we don't have that sibling connection.
Yeah, it's just a random human being kind of.
You know?
Yeah, I get.
So it's not like, oh, if I don't talk to her today, I can't leave. No, it's not like that. It's like, oh, you exist. I know I have a sister somewhere. Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna rely on you. Like I have a problem, I'm gonna cry. No. Yeah.
I get it. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
So when you just try to analyze your life, where you've come from, how would you describe yourself now?
Now through my life experiences.
Your experience, where you've come from, everything.
You know what? To me, it's more like I was meant to suffer. Like for my life, I've been thinking I was meant to suffer. Actually, people like me, unfortunately, we are born to suffer. Yeah, that's my life. I had accepted that. Now my mindset is changing. I know now, and you know what? I just want to say, it is not by my energy and my ability to speak tongues and my braveness. If it was not God, I don't know where I would have been.
Yeah.
People die at Limpopo River at the border when they're entering South Africa. People get killed there.
Yeah.
But I'm alive.
Yeah.
So many things happen in South Africa, and just me knowing the language made me survive, not to be taken out.
Yeah.
It's just by the grace of God. I'm like, yo. And you know, I guess it's true what the Bible says, that God does not put a burden on someone when He has not given them the capability to succumb the circumstances.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I'm a walking miracle. Like, it's just like, if I need to see God, I look at myself, I'm like,
yeah, true.
I am the real example that God is
God,
there.
sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I think people can even learn God through you.
Yes.
I think, through your
Yes, a lot of people, they're like, oh, you speak English just like you went to university.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's like you went to university. You are actually better than some university graduates.
I've been schooled by this world.
Have you ever been in relationship, like a romantic relationship, due to lack of affection?
Oh God. Shout out to my ex. Because he treated me so bad that I realized it is because I think I'm worthless that I accept such treatment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people like, my ex did this, that person is bad. If we look down in ourselves, I was the problem.
Yeah.
He treated me badly, I allowed it. And I realized I am being with men from a sense of lacking.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to. You can do anything bad to me. It's when you're raised in toxicity, or like people that are used to toxicity becomes your comfort zone.
Yeah, because that's what you know.
That's what you know.
Yeah.
So it was just by the grace of God, and I realized, no, man, I need to change even the way I think about myself. I don't love myself.
How you view the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I am worthless. This is why people treat me like this.
Yeah.
So I stopped.
Yeah.
But trust me, it was a very, 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 very long journey to realizing that I was being treated like this in and out of relationship just because you want to feel like someone loves you.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because you have no love for yourself.
Yeah.
So you want someone else to give it to you. And you don't even know what it is. Because what you know is toxicity. So you want someone to give you love. To the extent, if you are given that love, you can't even recognize that this is love.
Yes. Yeah. But when you get the toxic one, now it's familiar.
Yeah, this is what I know.
Yeah, you cheat on me, you treat me badly. Now you want to beat me. It's familiar, I'm used to that.
Yeah.
Wow. When I even thinking about my person, it's like, disgusting.
Yeah.
But I've outgrown that.
Yeah. Fair enough. You've come from far.
Like
you really come from far.
I was looking in my TikTok videos and some guy said, you look 37, you're not even 28, you look 37. I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Deep down, I feel like I'm 40 years old.
Yeah, because you're an old soul. You've really lived. It's like your soul has lived longer than your body.
Yes.
And yeah, it makes sense. No, one has lived your experience.
That's true.
No one knows how it feels like to be you. Yeah, because sometimes people want to be like other people. I wish I could be like her. I wish I could be like this person. But
You don't know.
do you know what it takes to be that person?
Yeah.
Do you know what price you are supposed to
I
pay?
tell you, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite it's quite hard. It was so amazing to have a one-on-one with you, Esther. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having
It
me.
was so amazing. I'm so amazed, and I was so impressed when I saw you on sharing
Yeah.
your life freely like that on TikTok.
Mm.
I was like, this must be interesting. I
Yeah.
think I need to sit with her and really listen to her. You never know who is outside there
Yes.
and who could be touched by your story. So I was like, it is not bad if I have you and we share this.
Oh, thank you for
Yeah,
having
so
me.
I'm so glad to have you. I'm so blessed, and thank you for blessing my morning. Yeah.
Thank
Your
you.
story is so powerful, and I hope you too, who is watching, can feel the same way. You can also leave us the comment in the comment section below. You can also share your experience, and if you also want to share your story with us, you can also reach out to us
Yes.
on the contacts on the screen, on your screen. And from real life perspective, we can try to see you in the next episode. Until then, it's a wrap. My name is Nasra Hassan. Bye.
Thank you.
And stay blessed. Thank you so much, Esther.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.